You've probably found this video because you need to change the tail light or the brake light on your Escape. Now this is a 2014 Escape and it's really not that hard, you just need to know how to do it. Obviously the first thing you need to do is open the tailgate. Now what you're going to find is a couple of hard plastic plugs here. They're kind of a pain to get off, but we need to remove them. I'm going to use just kind of a dental pick here. I'm going to reach into the top of the plug and they'll probably fly off because they normally do. Just for reference, these are what the plugs look like. They just have a couple of tabs on the back and you basically just pry them off. Now under those covers you're going to find two 8mm bolts. I'm just going to take a drill with a driver here and an 8mm socket and back those out. There's one and two. Once you have those two bolts removed, the taillight is not going to remove easily. You're going to need to kind of bump it out. And what I like to do is take one hand, hold it here, take the other hand and just kind of bump it until it comes out like that. At this point, you'll have just enough room to rotate this out and pull this plug. Once you pull this plug, that's the only thing holding this assembly in. You can take it back to your workbench and replace that light bulb. Now that we have this assembly laying on the workbench, I want to talk about this just for a few seconds so you know what's going on here. The bottom one is not your reverse light. Your reverse light actually sits in the door, which would be somewhere over here. This bulb is an amber light and it is your turn signal bulb. There's a second bulb in this assembly and it's up at the top, and what that bulb does, it is your braking light and it is also your regular tail light. So it's a dual function bulb and it has two filaments in it. In our case, this is the bulb that is out and we need to replace it. Removing the bulb is pretty simple. Just grab a hold of the base and turn it counterclockwise until it clicks. Pull it straight out. You're going to see the bulb. Grab a hold of the bulb and just pull it out of the socket. And this is what your bulb looks like. Now the replacement for this bulb is a 3157. This is a Sylvania bulb. I bought it in the auto store. I will put a link down below of everything I used in this video. Basically, we're just going to replace the bulb, put it back together in reverse order, and all should be good. Now luckily for us, it will only fit into the socket one way. If you try to put it in backwards, it just won't fit. Then we just put it back inside like so, give it that little bit of a turn till it clicks. We're ready to put this back in the car. Putting it back together is pretty much just everything in reverse. Make sure you put your plug back on, snap this back into place, put your two bolts back in, put the covers back on, kind of rework your rubber here so it hangs over the top, and you're pretty much done. It is that simple. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Take a look at some of my other videos. You might find something that might interest you or entertain you. I do normally do a lot of build-it-yourself type stuff. So if you're into that, take a look around.